Welcome everyone. I'm Matt Alex. I'm actually out of the Beyond Studios, which happens to be a conference room in our office, but to make it look cool, we call it the Beyond Summit Studios. So if you guys are ever in Chicago, you should come and visit it. It's really kind of cool. It's like 10 by 10 and really cool background and things like that. So for the folks that don't know me, I've been higher ed for about 30 years. Have worked with many of you as we have been going through the process of helping universities and colleges transform. I'm excited about today. This summit is actually called Modern Campus Interrupted. And, Mark, the way that this all started was, Beyond is really about bringing the right discussions to the right people. Because in the past 30 years, I myself included, we were talking maybe not about the right things. And that bothered me enough to start my own firm to say, let's think about the future. What does that discussion mean? And how do we do it? And really it's about, the institution, but really it's about the student, the journey that we're all gonna have to make sure that we allow for those heroes, and those are our students, to go through the journey we had. So Mark's article, when we were about to publish it, Mark sent it over and it was deep, it was rich. And we thought people weren't going to read it to that extent because it is deep. It's 72 pages for the people that haven't had a chance to, read it. And so the way that we approached it was, okay, Mark, we're not going to put 72 pages out there. No one's ever going to read it. We said, let's segment it and do blogs and things like that. And then that turned into, hey, we should really think about maybe doing this as part of the Beyond Summit, and let's talking about the topics in hand. And so we reached out to Mark and said, Mark, we got a different idea. We're going to publish your article. And so if any of you guys are thinking about writing articles and thoughts, let me know. We want to publish really innovative thoughts in our platform. For you guys that know me, I'm software agnostic. So I'm all about making sure whatever the right technology is going to work. So my president and chancellors know Matt Alex is not going to be swayed by a product or a vendor, even though I need to work with each one of them to make it very successful. So to really take Mark on, we went through this and we broke these up in these tracks, and then we asked Mark to talk about it with us, and we talked about it in terms of how do we really get deeper. And so he said, I have some guests that I think can speak to it. So these guests come from different places. They're at universities, they run their own consulting firms, they are vendors, just like our previous one. The previous one, we had some amazing thought leaders coming from industry. We had competitors sitting on the same stage, which is exactly what we want as we move forward. So to really set the room, use the view screen to decide how you want to see it. If you want to see everyone, put it as a grid and you'll see a lot of people. We have 50 people right now. This is going to be, you'll see different people in the audience, ping them, talk to each other, do a chat. We also want you to be interactive with us. This is what I call multi-directional. There's no title here. I have no esteemed panelist that could only be the one that says the right things. Our goal is to have really good discussion where thoughtful people speak. That includes you. So if you ever see any of my LinkedIn, my hashtag says your voice matters. So as many of you guys that may follow me on Clubhouse, FutureX, Tribe, I talk about the voice matters. So I'm going to stop there. And we're going to go through the logistics. So every 30 minutes, we will switch into a topic. We'll have moderators that will come in and go, guide the direction. For the folks that have been through my Zoom-ins, it's very similar. For the folks that have experienced Matt Alex, I'm the same guy that you'll have seen in person as in this audience. So I'm going to let Mark come on stage. And I've worked with Mark for a long time. Did I always agree with what he did at PeopleSoft? Probably not. And that's why we always have really good discussion. Like, oh, what are we doing here? But this is the discussions we need. We need these uncomfortable conversations that allow for us to really decide what we do moving forward. I'm reading a book called Think Again, Adam Grant. It makes you think about, hey, are you thinking the right thing? And maybe this is the time for all of us to do that as we have this discussion. So Mark, I'm gonna pass it over to you. I'm Matt Alex, and I'm done talking. You like that?
Okay, thanks, Matt. And thank you particularly for putting this event together. As Matt noted, I made an attempt to kind of paint a vision against which we could have a discussion, a debate, but out of it around practical recommendations for IT investment, factoring in the business conditions of the day, COVID, trends in the industry, et cetera. And so there's a lot of people, there's more than we can put on this meeting today that have perhaps a deeper level of expertise. In some cases, it may be even a slightly different perspective than I do, but I'm very compelled by their vision and what they bring to the table. And so you're going to meet some of them today. We're going to keep, there's a lot of information we're going to try and convey. So we urge you, if you've got questions, put them in the chat, and we'll monitor that and try and bring anything in given the time, or do some things at the end. So I also want to, so let me start off by thanking everyone who's joining the call. Thank you for your attention today. And so to make it worth your time, we're going to jump right into it.